Hey Capricorn, welcome to your weekly reading, week beginning April 27th, as we close off this interesting month of April. The next 2 weeks we'll see 4 planets go into retrograde by the second week of May. So the planets Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, and Pluto. I'll put a video about those retrograde energies specifically. But it's time, it will be inviting us all to get back to blueprint in many ways about what we've learned about power versus empowerment, love and intimacy, expression of self, following our path, following the path of society, all that fun stuff, all that growth stuff, yeah? So let's take a look at your theme for the week. Next month I'll be doing, in the first couple of weeks of May, I'll be doing giveaways. So if the messages on the videos resonate, subscribe to the channel, like, comment. I'll go through all the comments next month to do a free giveaway for a reading. So let's see what your theme is, Cappy. You guys were the 3rd most viewed videos. So your reading is 3rd this week. Self-love. I love this card. This is, and if you look really close, because this is exactly what I was talking about. See that light body in the middle? That little divine child. Inner child work, getting back to blueprint. What have I learned about self, life, love, intimacy, trust, power versus empowerment, Cappy? All things are born from our childhood. All things are developed there in many ways. How we connect, how we trust, what we believe of self when it comes to our esteem, our love language, our needs. Look, I just want to say, self-love, abundance. And the other side of self-love is abundance. Very beautiful. This week is very much a journey into self-love for you, Capricorn. Appreciating your journey to date, seeing how far you have come as this retrograde energy kicks off for us all collectively. This is review time, and you're like, I know, right? I've been in review time a long time, but some of those planets are going to be affecting you. And at any rate, the last 2 years has offered you an ecliptical cycle along with Cancer to truly get to the crux of this. So I could very well be speaking to Capricorns that are embodying this genuine energy of self-love, valuing the gifts and lessons and wisdoms that you have integrated and learned since childhood. As a grown-up now, you are deciding what is true and right for you. There's a lot of potency that comes with doing inner child work. Maybe that story is relevant for you. Okay, let's take a look and see what the tarot wants to say. It's almost like you've put something aside, Cappy, is what I'm... Wow, the Judgment card, 3 of Cups. The 10 of Cups in the past, the King of Pentacles above. That's you coming into your element. The Queen of Pentacles down below. That's you balancing the divine masculine and feminine energies within. The King of Wands. Okay, there's a lot of people involved. Maybe these are people that have been influential to you. Or elements of self. There's 3 kings. The gifts of the 3 kings. Did that come up in your last reading? It come up in someone's reading. Underneath all this is the 9 of Swords. Now, make no mistake, the 9 of Swords energy is a vital crossroads where we get to decide there's an ending here. There is an ending. You have closed a chapter, because you see how I dropped that card? Do you know what's underneath it? The Emperor. What role has the masculine authority figure, that's male or female, played in your life? What have you learned about that? Whether you are male or female, what role has that played in your life? How it has shaped and transformed you since you were a young child to now? there have been 3 influential male figures in your life, whether it is a son, an ex, a father figure. You are celebrating an ending of something. I am now flooded in goosebumps because the Judgment card is your first card, Cappy. The Judgment card is your first card, and then there's the 3 of Cups. This is the coming together, a celebration. I would not even doubt that there has been something hard fought here for your strong sense of self. So when it comes to celebrating, you are celebrating a very, very big end of a chapter. You have the 9 of Pentacles, you have the 9 of Wands, and underneath the deck you have the 9 of Swords, triple nines. Maybe you're seeing that, those numbers on the back of number plates, maybe you're noticing it. It is the culmination. If anything is going to represent judgment when it comes to the numerology codes, the number codes is what I call them. It is triple nine. It is the end of a cycle. You have ended a cycle. You have successfully integrated, and I'm going to say success because you are celebrating here. You are celebrating, and you are crowned by your masculine essence, and you are based and nurtured by your feminine essence. I can't make this stuff up. I'm covered in goosebumps. Who is the queen to your king? This feels very internal, okay, because of the theme. I'm talking to a Capricorn that has successfully blended this divine trilogy of what it is that we learned about self-love. And do you know, we learn that from a male figure. We learn that from a female figure. Take this however it resonates. Sometimes those deeper wisdoms, I'm speaking specifically to a female Capricorn, sometimes those deeper wisdoms aren't integrated until we cross paths with another male figure and another male figure. Or alpha females, women that embody that strong essence of male energy. Drive, commitment, you know. There were 2 relationships that you had to go through, 3 even, that you had to experience in order to see this reflection and balance the female and masculine energies within yourself. And it is all to do with self-love. In the past, you have the 10 of Cups. So there were questions about emotional fulfillment. What emotionally sustains me, fulfills me, what fills my cup. This is a focus on family and love. Whatever your ideal picture is when it comes to this. And it's different for us all. Some of us want kids, some of us don't. You know, we might be in a couple, not necessarily have children or pets or anything like that. I've just realised there's 2 women in this one. And 4 bees and 1 cat. Maybe 2 women were integral in your opportunity to reach emotional fulfillment, despite the masculine energies that have influenced your journey. I feel like I'm speaking to a Capricorn that's been negatively influenced by masculine energies, perhaps. And as such, you can take that as deep or as wide as you want. But as such, when we are negatively influenced by masculine energy, by a male figure, it affects our drive. It affects our voice and that divine masculine energy that exists within all of us, Capricorn. If the female energy is to be open and to receive and to go in and follow intuition and to nurture and to grow things slowly, okay? Think of it as energy. The masculine energy is to go out there and hunt and seek and ask and state who I am so that I can, because I've gone in, right? And sorry, this is like going even deeper with my metaphysical metaphors. but it's about the chicken or the egg, okay? So you have to have the womb first before you can grow anything. So you must embrace the feminine energy first to really go in. This is why when we're going in depression, why we're going into reflection mode, we have to go in before we can then go out and seek change, all right? I'm getting off track. You were negatively influenced by a male figure, which it impacted your ability to drive, to go out and ask, state, say who you are, seek what it is that you intuitively knew, because you had gone in. You had gone in. You know who you are inside, but there's it's when we intuitively know things, when we intuitively connect to self, it's quite another thing altogether than to then let that energy raise through the chakras and communicate that and go seek that, to act on something, yeah? So maybe I'm talking to a Capricorn that's had challenges in the past when it comes to issues around self-love, to be able to act on what you intuitively wanted, knew, desired. Maybe you have had challenges in your journey to put down some boundaries, to go and take what's yours without feeling like I'm being too aggressive. Yeah? You are closing a chapter, my friend, a massive, massive life chapter, and it goes all the way back to childhood about this. I keep seeing a frequency or a storyline that you were educated in, grown in, and it's just like you've dropped it because you are now recreating. You're going back to blueprint. You're recreating this timeline. This day forward, it's like reset. You're recreating that timeline. Because it's one thing to feel like the Nine of Swords, where we're up all night and we're stressing and we're worrying, but it's quite another to actually take control of ourselves, our well-being, our knowing, our path moving forward, our life, our hopes and dreams and wishes, to be the emperor of your kingdom. Whether you are female or male, you are shifting energies. You have gone from this anxiety, what do I do next? How do I move forward? Maybe this was just a general state of self, who you were, to who you are now. Who you are now. Who you are now. This is who you are. You have recaptured that masculine energy that I was just talking about, that ultimately will see you go out there and get what you want. Hunt for what you want. And it's not, when I talk about the divine masculine, it is not that old paradigm of power and control. That's the shadow element of the masculine. Because you're balancing the King and Queen of Pentacles. This feels so metaphysical, it feels so, this is an end to conflict, inner conflict, okay? This is probably something you've been processing yourself. Not your circus, not your monkeys. Whatever you were grown, whatever you grown in, whatever you learned, it's not your truth anymore. This inner conflict that has perhaps existed for so long that it's impacted your well-being and left you feeling like this, it's not yours to carry anymore. The Emperor doesn't carry that energy. He's got this authentic and genuine belief in himself and his path and his life. There is sudden clarity. This is the sun. The stars and the solar system are realigning just for you. Everything in the last couple of years had to happen exactly as they did, especially what you have learned in the last 3 to 10 days is what I'm going to say. Even the nine weeks is important as well. The number 9 is relevant. 9 days, 9 weeks, 9 months, 9 years. There's a lot you have learned, and it's about emotional mastery. There's a lot of communication around this, connecting to others, telling your story, wanting new beginnings in love. The Ace of Cups. I feel like I'm speaking to a Capricorn that is building up this energy, and they are just about to do this. Messages about love, messages about emotional fulfillment and new beginnings, sudden clarity. What is your wish? This is your wish fulfillment card, the Nine of Cups. The next 2 weeks, the next week, there's this confidence, this fire, this genuine, authentic, knowing who I am and what I want after a long time in introspection and going within, connecting into the wisdom. This is the Hermit card. That's the Queen of Wands. You are letting go of deep emotional weight that you have carried for too long. And sometimes that emotional weight is what keeps us from that drive forward, you know, that you are embracing that masculine energy. You are taking what you find of value from the lessons you have learned. You are keeping only that which is value, and everything else you are releasing. Releasing emotional weight. The Strength card, the Queen of Cups. Wow. Okay, guys, cut it out. This is the King and Queen of Cups I've seen already. King and Queen of Cups. The King and Queen of Pentacles. You are committing to a new chapter of inner strength. Now, I'm not saying you were not strong before, but this is a new level up of strength, and it's a lot to do with emotional mastery. It's a lot to do with stating your authentic desires, voice. This is about embracing, you know, the passion and excitement and confidence for your path ahead when the King of Wands shows up, Capricorn. In your review mode, you know, you've achieved quite a lot for yourself alone, but now is the time for reciprocity. Now that you can apply that however that resonates for you. This is time to equally share, give and take, and not carry a burden on your own. And a burden could be an experience, a life. Maybe I'm talking to a Capricorn that's opening their hearts to love, to sharing a life. Maybe I'm talking to a Capricorn that's finally dropping a few responsibilities and sharing that burden. And going out and stating what it is that you need and want, so that you do not have to be this, so you don't have to hold yourself back anymore on some level. You're not in a deeply emotionally fragile space. Like, you are very clear in the head about, you got some strong mental clarity here when the King of Swords shows up. You're being logical. And now I'm not saying not to do that, because that's actually the advice. But what happens next when you do actually go out there, what happens next is quite an abundant time for you. When you do get what you want, when you will come home with the gift of that reward, you're connecting into your inner drive and will. This is something you've wanted for a long time, is what I keep hearing. You have wanted this for a long time, and there's a lot of clarity this week for you. The sun is shining clearly. Okay? Until next week.